All right, guys, it is finally time to start working on our Beetle pan swap for my 1969 NSU Prince. So for those of you that are new to this channel, you heard that right. We are planning to take this body off of its entire stock factory chassis and put it onto a vintage Volkswagen Beetle pan and running all vintage air-cooled Volkswagen parts. So stay tuned to this episode. I have the pan in the shop. We're gonna start teardown and we're gonna finally start working on this swap. You know, winter's right around the corner, so it's time to get back to work. All right, guys, we got our supervisor Smudge with us today. And here she is. Look at this beauty. So this is what we're starting with. An old rusty pan. So today, like I say, we're gonna start pulling the front end out, disassembling the whole rear end, figuring out where we wanna cut this because the NSU is about 1.5 feet shorter. It's also narrower. So it's gonna be interesting to figure out how we're gonna make this fit. Let's start disassembly. So this pan is, I think, late 60s, early 70s pan, IRS rear end, which I wanna keep that set up for this build. And it's also a 4-bolt car. I do plan on changing it to a wide 5, older Volkswagen style. So let's get rid of these 4-bolt rims. Okay, I saved you guys from a little bit of this dry filming, but I threw on some adjustable spring plates on both sides, as well as I had some brand new Thing drums. So I'm not gonna end up using those drums because Thing drums are about 3/4 of an inch to an inch thicker than regular Beetle drums. So, but anyways, all this just for test fitting. Throw on some rims. Let's lower this back on the ground and see how low we are for now. All right, well, that'll sit low enough, I think, for now. So now the rear end is sitting as low as I can go without doing any major modifications. I took the rubber bump stops out so that I can get as low down as possible. Obviously, when I put some weight down, it will bottom out. But for now, that's the simplest way. I have it as low as I can go. Now, we're gonna work on starting to take the front end apart. So I'm gonna take all the tie rods off, take my brake assemblies apart, and whip that off. I was able to be hooked up by a buddy of mine who had a 4-inch narrowed beam. So I'm gonna take that beam, replace it with the stock width beam, start assembling it, and let's get the front end down on the ground. It is also, it's got some adjusters in it so we can sit as low as we want it. So let's get the swap going. Since I will be getting new lines. This beam's seen some better days. Got a little crack through there, actually no good. Fucking tightening it up. Fuck's sakes. So that's one side apart. Next we'll work on taking the driver's side apart. And then we'll take apart the steering components, and finally the beam will be ready to come out. Okay, now with all the accessory components taken off the beam, we can start unbolting the 4 bolts that hold on the beam. Well, that's a fantastic start. Well, I guess this bolt's been broken for a while because somebody generously welded the bottom of the beam to the front of the pan. So I'll try to show you guys, because the beam wasn't coming out. You know, once these 4 bolts are out, the beam will just fall out. Not this one. So I don't know if you can see. It's hard to tell, but somebody's generously welded the bottom of this beam on. So I gotta cut that out, then we'll pull her out. Nice. Anyways, she's out. I think I'm gonna clean up my mess because it's an absolute disaster. All right, so my narrowed beam is loosely mounted. Torsion arms are on, spindles are on. One thing I've learned throughout all my fun times of building Volkswagens is when I'm constantly dealing with pulling my torsion arms on, off, and all that sort of stuff, you VW guys understand that these front springs can kind of be a pain to deal with cutting them, narrowing them, drilling them, especially when you're, like I say, constantly pulling them on and off. So a trick I've learned for just keeping these torsion arms on without having a lot of hassle is actually, when I bought this beam, it already had this ready rod, so it's kind of saved me some time. So I got some ready rod with a couple nuts, and it's enough to just hold all my torsion arms together. Then you're not dealing with cutting and drilling, so it's helpful. It saves time, makes life a lot easier. So that being said, my front end's loosely together. I got some wide 5 drums I'm gonna throw on this thing, throw on some wheels, and we're gonna sit this thing on the ground and see where she's sitting at. You know, hopefully it's at a good height that we can work with and start going forward from there. So as I was saying, with these torsion arms, behind these, this is the ready rod and the 2 nuts I have that hold these torsion arms in. There's actually little caps here originally that you can just pound out, because your original torsion arms, they'll just look flat here. But it's just a little plate that you can just hammer out, and then you can actually thread your ready rod through that. So simple tricks, make your life easier. Again, I'm not putting the backing plate in with all the new brake shoes and all that sort of stuff, because again, we're just testing everything. No need for me when I'm gonna just pull them off anyways. The new drums I had the wrong size bearings for the later model spindles, so oh well. Back to the 4 bolts on it for now. At least I can test it out. At least I can slam it down and see how low the pan sits. So let's drop her on the ground and check her out. Good old Pit, keeping things sketchy for us. Ooh. Probably as far as the ball joints allow me to go. Oh no. Anyways, that's her height. I think we can work with that. So as you guys can see, this is where we're sitting at right now, which is pretty good. I think we can work with that. You know, as you see, the back end where the trans mounts is nice and low. We have a little bit of extra clearance here that we could go a little lower once there's some weight. Obviously, we're not on tires yet. We're just on a couple 2x4s. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Come back at it tomorrow. Day 2, working on the pan. I think I'm gonna get some new drop spindles for the front, so then I can minimize how aggressive that ball joint angle is. So I wanna get those first. Then once I can get that, I can start measuring my center to center at the wheels, because it is very important to section this pan in the right spot. And depending on the type of spindles I get, that can adjust your torsion arms, and then you could gain an inch or so or something like that. So today, we're gonna start working on some air ride. So when I bought this beam, it came with some extra parts, air tank compressor, came with a couple air shocks, a couple airbags. I'm gonna start test fitting all that stuff in here, figuring out what I'm gonna build for the rear air suspension in the meantime while I'm waiting for parts to come for the front end. So let's check that stuff out, see how we can get that to work. First shock was an easy bolt up, but this side, unfortunately, one of the lower shock bushings is seized onto the stud. So gotta heat that up, get that off so I can get the second shock in. These are just some cheap Munro air shocks you can get out of Lordco. I've run those shocks on my thing for about 7 years or so and never had an issue, and they're cheap. And, you know, these old Volkswagens are really light, so they can handle it, but that's just me. They're cheap, they're easy to put in, so that's what I use. Second air shock's in, just tied in a bit of 1/4" air line, teed it in, and just like that, the beam is on air ride. Front is good for now, for doing all our testing, and let's get working on the back. Got Jake joining us too, eh, buddy?
That's me.
Got some rubber mats he's building for the back of the old Ford. That's what you're working on today, eh?
Yeah, I don't want to look at this frame anymore. Make it look a little bit nicer.
Yeah. You know, it's gonna be, we'll fix all this up.
We will.
In time.
We're gonna build tubs for this. I don't have a mic on. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me. I'm sorry. I'll talk louder. But we are gonna build tubs for this in due time. But Tate and I are just trying to get through this winter because I know we're gonna be picking up another car or two this winter.
Well, we've already been using the truck.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of these holes.
Yeah,
So.
these holes, and then Tate doesn't have to look at my rusty bed.
Yes, yes. Good work, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
But anyways, for the more important tasks, let's get back on it. Had to shut the door. Jake was smoking out the shop, cutting up those the mats for his truck. So anyways, let's get working on the rear airbag mount setup. I think I'm gonna capitalize on these 2 original body mounts here and build some sort of setup for the rear bags. I'd like to sink the bag down into this hole here. The NSU seats sit quite low, so I don't think I'll be able to build something that sits higher. So I want to sink it nice and low and compact like that. Gonna pull all these brake lines out, probably cut the brake line mounts off and see what space we got to work with. So let's pull those lines out. Brake lines are off, both sides. So now I'm just gonna cut these tabs out, and then I should have enough clearance to get a bag in and out of there. Let's check how she fits. She's gonna be a tight fit, very tight fit, but I think we'll be able to make this work one way or the other. All right, so I built the upper mount here for the airbags for the rear. Like I say, they just quickly bolt on to the original body mount bolts, and it's just roughly tacked together. I'm sure I'm gonna change a bunch of things, but I'm a little concerned how tight the airbag is to the torsion tubes and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'm gonna cut out right here and inset my bottom mount so I can cut this weld, and maybe I'll bring this airbag in a little farther to gain a little bit of clearance there. So I'm gonna cut this out and get started on my lower mount. All right, there's your first notch. Before I build anything out of metal, went with a few pieces of scrap cardboard. So I'm gonna put a backing plate there, as well as my bottom mount. So I'm gonna do something like that, have a few supports down at the bottom, some bracing, leave a little extra room on the top and bottom. So if I wanna bring it up or bring it down, depending on where my ride height's gonna be. Very important when building this is to make your bag as flat and straight up and down as possible at your ride height. It's gonna be a few welds, tacks, removes, raises, lowers, all that sort of stuff until I find the proper height. But for now, I think we're gonna just test fit this, put our bag in, and see where we're sitting. I readjusted this top mount, and now I got a little bit more clearance all through, if you can see, all through there. Tightened her up a little bit here. Got my nice cardboard bottom lower bag mount that I'm gonna slide in from underneath and show you guys how it fits. It's tough filming in these tight spots, you know, get different angles for you guys to see anything. So doing the best I can here. So let me show you how this fits. Let's try not to fall. It's steep. See, I can slide this mount in, and then I can slide it up, oh geez, until it hits the bottom of the bag. Right, so I think that'll do. Might extend this a little bit farther with my steel. And what's nice with the extra length, if I want the bag to extend more, I can lower it down a bit. Or if I want less, I could compress the bag more. I think it'll do. Day 3 on the airride pan build. So I was able to find some, here's one of my brackets. Here's one of my brackets I built up. Just some scrap steel laying around. It's not even 1/8 inch thick, so it's gonna be good for just testing my rear lower mounts. So what we're gonna do is I have one tacked together so far. I got some more, I haven't tacked the other one together yet. You know, I got the pieces for it. So I just got to tack this one together. Then we can go ahead and tack them into place and see if I'm at the right height and pretty much test out the rear air ride. Again, they're just samples, so I'm just gonna use them temporarily. And then once I've, you know, fixed all the issues with it, then I'll build them out of 1/4 inch plate. Let's tack that second mount together and we'll stick them in. So as any good welder will teach you, it's very important to clean and prep your welding surface before you tack anything together. So let's go ahead. All clean.
I know everyone's missed my face, so I figured, you know what, I'd get in the shop, stop working on the crew cab, come help Tay. So.
I didn't need any help.
He did need help. That's what I was here for.
Thought I'd drill a bottom mounting hole in here. My center punch is absolutely horrendous. I'm sweating today, buddy.
Taylor doesn't do much physical activity.
No, no. All right, is that gonna be big enough? Where's our airbag? Is it? Now I need to find a bolt that fits it. I think that's these ones.
Oh yeah.
Probably have to do a little bit bigger hole.
Oh, no, you're good.
Just fits?
Yeah, let's go test it out. I built Tay a sick cardboard template. Look at that. Oh, no, wrong way.
Other way, other way.
Look at that.
Look at how nicely fit that piece of card.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Precision. Watch, it's gonna work amazing, and then you're gonna go, wow. Good job, Jacob. Okay, let's get this bag in. Oh, I think my little bracket did okay. I don't know what Taylor Clark would do without me.
Well, if that works, there's no point bolting it up too much.
I just want to,
I just want to
test it, make sure I actually did it properly. Oh, I did it properly.
All right, test her up right now, all the way.
Yeah. You know, an impact would be nice.
Apprentices don't get impacts. They get hand tools.
So why do you not have the impact then? Honestly, Tay, because then this is gonna sit up a little bit higher. It'll sit about there.
Yep.
That works out really good.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know if I'll just cover the bag up and then I'll put a couple tacks here.
Yeah, and then we can just test it.
Top and bottom.
Yeah.
Then we can test her out.
Test her out. I think that's a good idea. But yeah, I think
let's tack this first one in.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the same.
On that side.
On that side.
And I got my sexy little cutout.
Yeah, look at how nice and fitting that one is too.
Ta-da!
Great.
I eyed it really quickly.
It's all just, you know,
Hey, you know what?
stuff, temporary stuff.
My shitty little cutout did great and it aligned perfectly.
It did. So let's
grind that down, clean that up, and throw a couple tacks and see if she works.
Yeah, top and bottom. Top and bottom.
Yeah.
Let's do
it. Passenger side's dialed. Let's get the driver's side.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Show the people what you're doing, buddy.
Dude, sick little template. You could technically just write on the metal itself,
Yeah.
but having the cardboard template, you just keep it there, slide this up to where you want it, like so. We're gonna put this where we want it,
Which is
about there, right? Is that about there?
go a little higher.
One sec.
Yeah, about there.
About there?
Yeah.
And then we'll just trace the bag underneath. There we go. Oh, I dropped it down the pit. Can you get me a new Sharpie?
Yeah, I can get you a Sharpie, buddy. Find one that's not flattened. Perfect.
Thank you. Then, take that out. We know where the circular of our bag, find the center point, boom, that's our hole.
I like it. Let's drill it.
Thank you.
All right, Jacob. How well is that gonna line up?
Perfectly.
All right, this one's on you.
There we go, started.
Start her up.
That's it. No, give me your fucking ratchet, you loser. You're holding your hand.
So we'll clamp this up and we'll give her a little tack. Then we can test how she works, if we have to do any adjusting, raise it lower. So let's do it. All right, well, that'll hold the top. Give it a little snug up on the bottom.
And that means we get to test this today.
Means we get to test it out.
See how good Tay's welds actually are.
They're just temporary, buddy.
Yep. Honestly, for temp welds, I'm happy with your quality.
They'll work. All right, let's connect some air lines, I guess, eh?
Let's do it.
See if she works. All right, got some air lines hooked up. Okay, let's see what type of clearance we get here. It works.
Wow.
Got a little bit of an adjustment we got to make over on the passenger side. See how the bag's hitting the
the torsion arm
tube right there. So we'll have to bring that bag in a little bit.
Tay's talking about right there.
Yeah.
Just right there.
So I'll have to adjust that bag up a little bit. But all things considered, that's not bad.
Also, I want to mention too, I don't know if Tay has mentioned this, the fact, yes, as you guys can tell, it's not hitting the ground, and you know Tay and I, we like stuff hitting the ground. But when we do the NSU body on here, we're basically body dropping the whole car. So it doesn't matter if this pan hits the ground, because we're going to make the rocker of the NSU actually hit the ground and body drop it.
That should be high enough.
Oh yeah, that's going to be more than enough.
So that's pretty good. This bag's a little more straighter than this one too, so that might help us when we shuffle it in a bit. So overall, for now, I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh yeah.
So now we're ready to build some proper lower mounts, but that's gonna be great for testing all our fittings of motor, trans, body.
We're starting the NSU, it's happening.
The NSU is starting, yeah. The pan has full air ride. Like I say, I want to put some drop spindles on the front, so I got a lot more playing to do, but base-wise, she's on air. It's a good start.
Cool. All right, well, that'll be it for this episode.
Also, you guys like our sweaters?
Yeah, exactly. Check these out. So, Tay and I want to mention that leave a comment down below if you guys would like to be hooked up with one of these sweaters. We're going to start selling them. So
this was the first rendition.
Yeah.
Jake's got the second one on here. Let you show Jake's.
I got a little
bit better coloring.
Smaller logo.
Yeah, show us the back.
And then the back.
A little definitely brighter colors.
Yeah,
so that's
so
going to be
this will be the one
we're going for.
And it's a different brand hoodie. It's a little bit thinner, but it's a nice quality.
Yeah.
This is nice. So I don't know price point. It'll probably be like 50, 60 bucks, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But we're going to be putting in an order. So leave a comment down below what size you are and if you want to buy one. So anyways, that's it for this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.